Hi, gents. Welcome to another episode of Wonderful Beauty.
Thank you for joining us today. We're going to have a deja vu episode again. So if you've seen this episode, no, you haven't. You can't prove it. Yeah. But,
Blaine.
Right. It's a figment of your imagination. It was all a dream. But we are back for another Ann TED Talk, and the reason we're back for an Ann TED Talk is because this group is either as near and dear or more near and dear to her than 2PM is, which she will explain. It's also very near and dear to us because of our name.
Everyone knows that I'm a huge fan of 2PM and B2ST, but I think B2ST was just a little bit more of like an edge to it, only because TLDR, back after, after having my child, I did go through a little bit of postpartum depression. I didn't realize it then, but, afterwards, after the fact, I was like, oh, I did have a depressive state. But anyway, so because of the whole depression things, you kind of tend to like latch on to things that will probably make you happy and all those other things. Not many were working out for that. G-Dragon leading me into the K-pop world, and then of course Super Junior started being like the song of the year at that time and everything. Yeah. But then I think 2PM also was the one that got me more into it, of course, because I watched the Hot Blooded Men documentary, learned about, J Park and Taecyeon and all their lives, all that sort of stuff. And then B2ST came along. I was like, oh yeah, I'll add another boy group to my roster. No big deal. But I think the scandal of what happened with J Park and 2PM kind of sullied the image of it. I still love 2PM. I mean, don't get me wrong. But I think it's just the image of that. You're like, ooh, there is a dark side to the K-pop world or sort of things. So that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. Obviously, I got over it quickly, but B2ST has consistently, in my heart, has done no wrong. And it's the typical response of like, they brought me out of my darkness and they got through my dark times and all sort of stuff. So that's the reason why B2ST is a little bit more near and dear into my heart, especially since I believe one of my alt biases would be Yeosop. It's very hard to be an alt bias in my books, honestly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And when she's talking about a little more edge, look at that eyeliner, guys.
Woo!
And they weren't even B2ST idols. That's the funny part.
Yeah, I know. That's the crazy part. But yeah, so this episode, we'll just go through the history of B2ST. Only just B2ST. If y'all know about just a little bit. Currently, they are now highlight, but we're only going to do the B2ST era. And then later on, we'll do the highlight era as well.
Right.
So
I am ready for this because, so I've mentioned before that the series that we do, I tend to get into a lot of groups retroactively. Clearly, I did not steal this from you because I'm 300 miles away from you, but like this is my first ever B2ST album. 2 or 3 highlight albums. I had to buy this one. And then, of course, I've got my boy Paper. So B2ST is definitely one of those ones that I retroactively gotten into, and I say this a lot, but there are groups that if I had stuck with K-pop at the time, I definitely would have got into it, because B2ST fits a lot more of my Monsta X side. It feeds a lot of my BAP side without that like criminal edge and all that. So I'm very excited to get into this. Last time we got into it, but we were still figuring out us and how to do stuff. This gives us the chance to, we did do the history last time, but we had that weird system where we were like, debut, first win, so on and so forth.
Random
so
stuff,
now we get to look into like your personal recommendation, and we get to skip AJ this time. So yay!
All right, so B2ST or B, the number 2, ST, or Boys to Search for Top.
I thought TVXQ had a lot of names.
Was formed by Cube Entertainment on October 15, 2009. Their very first boy group, which is a huge deal for any companies to release their first boy group, first girl group, all this sort of stuff. Their fandom is called Beauty, for Beauty and the Beast concept, and their fan color is dark gray. Members included Doojun, who is the leader and lead rapper, Hyunsun, lead vocalist, Junghyun, main rapper, Yeosop, main vocalist, Kikwan, main dancer, and Dongwoo, the lead vocalist and the maknae of the group. Another fact about this group is that for a second-gen group, they were self-producing, practically unheard of from a smaller company compared to Big Bang and YG Entertainment. But last, there is a darker and sadder side about B2ST. They were known to be the recycle group because of their previous training and or almost debut experiences. So first off would be Doojun. Doojun was first shown on air through JYP's documentary Hot Blooded Men, where it follows trainees going through rigorous training to form One Day, which later split up to be 2PM and 2AM. He was eliminated on the show, although he was placed fairly high in the beginning episodes. I haven't seen this documentary in so long, but I think he just kind of tapered off, and everyone everyone else kind of took like the spotlight in a sense, because anytime they have random competitions or like talent shows sort of thing, like I remember Jo Kwon, from the leader of 2PM, being like front and center dancing to like a Wonder Girl song. She's like, come on boys, let's go, you know, that sort of thing. And then like Jay Park, you know, I think he did have some abs back then. Even then, other than him being very attractive, he was just like very like uplifting. He always tells the boys like, oh, we got this, like there's one more lap, there's just one more lap. So there's a lot of things that were happening during that documentary where the boys just kind of took over. And I don't remember Do-ju much, honestly, in that documentary, but I remember him being very attractive. But I think it's just like as it progressed, he just got kind of pushed further and further. Jang Hyun-sung was trained to become part of YG's Big Bang and appeared on the documentary Big Bang The Beginning. He was pushed out of the final lineup towards the end of the series, lacking stage presence and the connection with the members of the group. Very important to have, because these are your brothers at this point.
Yeah.
Like you're in it right there. Very sad, but also I can't imagine, like to this day, I still can't imagine Hyunsung being part of Big Bang, because Big Bang is now, you know, this presence and you've seen the progression of it. I don't think Hyunsung would even fit into that, honestly.
Right.
So Yeon Jun-hyun debuted in Scene, which included Kevin from UKIS, as we discussed from the previous episode, and his stage name for that was Popping Dragon. He would later leave the group and company, and he would file a lawsuit due to the slave contracts, which was not super fun, but I think a few years later after this, he would actually win the lawsuit.
That's good. At least somebody filing one.
I believe also Kevin, and I mentioned Keep him left admirably. Kevin also filed a lawsuit for that company as well, and I think he won too. Yan Yo-sop was a trainee with JYP, but left because of bad scoring on his evaluation. Then he joined M-Boat, which is a sister company to YG, for 5 years. Yo-sop's debut under the company would constantly get pushed back, so he decided to leave M-Boat. Lee Ki-kwan also trained under JYP for 4 years before being let go. He became the first trainee for Cube Entertainment. He would then do a solo debut under the stage name as AJ, but was quickly scraped after releasing his first EP. And then lastly, Song Dong-woo was under JYP for 2 years before moving to Cube. So I think Dong-woo is like the most typical, like just moving out and maybe transferring over to the Cube. Everyone else is like, they either were close to debuting or they actually debuted and they're like, I don't like that idea. We're just try something new again.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, dang, Dongwoo had the least problematic like shift from JYP to Cube.
Out of all of them, Dongwoo did have the least amount of training experience, because I think after he moved to Cube, he trained there for maybe like 1 year, maybe 2 years, and then he was already ready to like debut sort of thing. So that was very quick turnaround as well, yeah. The media was super harsh in blatantly stating that they were failures. Sure, you can spin it and say they were the recycle group, but come on, you know what the media is trying to portray. Look at this group of 6 boys, failures before, and now Cube Entertainment is trying to give them that shot. Will they succeed or fail once more? But what's great is that throughout B2ST's journey, it was a long, humbling journey that later led to great success. Even before they even debuted all together as Beast, they were already connected in so many ways. Here are some fun facts about this, while showing just how interconnected they were. So, Yo-sop and Ki-kwan were actually high school friends. Even before training and everything like that, they were actually high school friends. They went to the same school and all that stuff.
Which is ironic, considering Yo-sop is your bias and Ki-kwan is my bias.
For sure. And I just wanted to like imagine them, like I'm sure maybe they're classmates too. They are the same age and everything. Maybe they took some sort of like music class and that's how they got closer or whatever. Do-jun decided to become a senior because of Hyunsung, because he watched the Big Bang documentary at the time. So that's pretty cool.
That is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine watching something like a survival show or something. You're like, hey, that guy's really cool. I want to try to do it. And then all of a sudden you walk in and it's like...
Hey.
That Spider-Man meme, though.
Yo-sop and Hyunsung met first in a performance team, and Yo-sop convinced Hyunsung to join Q. So they're already like intertwined in those other things. It's just really funny how like they're just so interlocked in this. So I like to think that it's like the red string of fate type the theory.
Right.
As mentioned, it all started with Cube debuting their first male solo artist, AJ. During this time, they took the opportunity to include other trainees to see if they would be a good fit as a future boy group. Doojun and Junghyun would be featured rappers in Wipe the Tears, while also performing on music shows, being somewhat in the forefront. During the Dancing Stooge promos, Hyunsung, Yosub, and Dongwon would be backup dancers. Fans were taking notice of these boys in the background. Some they followed from their own journey in different companies. They were dubbed as AJ's boys. There were even fan cams of the boys, and that just shows how much of a traction they got from pre-debut. Especially, I believe the higher views ranking for fan cams, other than Kikwan or AJ at the time, of course, would be Yosub and Hyunsung, because obviously Hyunsung already being well known for almost debuting Big Bang, but Yosub was already like not a content creator, but back then it was just like him uploading videos online of him just like singing and all sort of stuff. So he already gained tractions from that as well.
Just say, guys, I am saving y'all from having to watch this video. Not as bad as You Kiss. Wipe the Tears was pretty bad.
Ooh, how did they even pass all that in the company is what I like to know.
I don't know how they... could you just imagine, like, being in Pentagon and coming over to Cube? And, of course, Beast was established by that time.
Oh yeah, of course,
but, meeting Kikong and being like, like... Because that's how bad Wipe Away Your Tears were. Especially when you look at other pre-debuts that we've watched. Like, because you have AJ, and then look at Jungkook's pre-debut.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. It's like night and day. You're like...
Jungkook would have beaten up AJ and his boys. I'm just saying.
Cube would release their own documentary to debut their first ever boy group, MTV Beast, because it was actually aired under the MTV channel at the time. Mm-hmm. The documentary followed the 6 boys from training to preparing for their debut. By the end of the series, with a showcase in front of family and friends, Cube would change the acronym, the B to the number 2, ST, to Beast, like the word Beast. And they would officially debut on October 15, 2009. Their lead title track is Bad Girl, with all members having a hand in producing the song with lyrics contribution and choreographing for their debut stage. Their EP would sell over 10,000 copies in the first week of release and went on to sell 40,000 copies by early 2010, an unusual feat for a rookie group at a time, especially under a almost no-name company.
Right.
Because at that time, all Cube had was 4 Minute. And 4 Minute just debuted a little before the boys. So they haven't even gained any traction at that time whatsoever.
Yeah, and we've mentioned that before, especially during 3rd gen, because that was, well, 2nd gen, I'm sorry. Especially during 2nd gen, because that is our Hallyu Wave. So you've got such big name groups, and JYP especially, of course, was so big in the Hallyu Wave.
But yeah, for a smaller company to get that numbers from the get-go, and the fact that eyes were already on them. I'm sure people are like, who love them even before pre-debut, are just like, I'm gonna fish out all this money to support them and all sort of stuff. So I think that also helped as well.
This is 2nd gen, so we're talking like mass YouTube, mass viral video, and you don't really have that international audience yet, because again, we're not getting those YouTube streams and all that. I mean, and you told us, I think, during your K-pop journey about having to like stay up till 2 a.m., go on shady websites to get those
the
counts
dark webs.
In and everything.
Yeah, no, for sure. And someone will be like streaming like half of like StarCraft on it, and the other half will be like the Music Bank or whatever show is happening at the same time. It's so funny. And then also on top of that, album sales are not happening internationally like it is right now, where you see it at Walmart, Target, all sort of things. It's like, no, you literally had to go to, like, at least here in Carrollton, right? Go to the H Mart and you hope that Ajima has some sort of group in there for you.
Right.
Right? And I don't even think she would have Beast for a good while. She would only have like the big 3, right? So then it would be Shiny, Super Junior, Big Bang, 2 p.m., 2 a.m., right? And then like Girls' Generation, 4 Minute, whatever type thing.
Right.
She doesn't really, well, I wouldn't say 4 Minute. 4 Minute's also later on too, but she would only have the big 3. It's rare to even have smaller companies at the time, but I think it would be probably towards like 2010 to 2012 is when that gift shop inside inside the H Bar in Carrollton, that they started getting more stings, is once they started to realize that, oh, people are actually interested in this.
Yeah, because I remember for a long time, side quest, but I remember for a long time, like, you mostly went in there to get like anime stuff. You would get like the Sailor Moon socks, the Gundam, and they had like just that shelf that is still there to this day.
Oh yes, yes.
Right by the register. And the only K-pop, because I wasn't into K-pop at this time, but the only K-pop thing that I really remember was on not an end cap, on a little display outside, which they had, I don't know if it was stickers or postcard, was of Super Junior, and they were kind of spicy.
The Mr. Simple era.
Yes, those ones, yeah.
yes. Oh my god, yeah, those were the days. Oh my god, yeah. I just remember the shelf not being too big. Now it spans like one wall that everyone can see if you've ever been to that gift shop inside H Mart. But I swear it's only the first shelf of like if they still have an alphabetical order, I think it would just be like A, B, C, D. It's just that one shelf. It's not that massive. Man, it was really hard because again, we didn't have, caddies or anything like that. How else are we gonna get these merch? You literally had to go to a physical store to get it. And it's not a major retailer like Target, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, where K-pop is now, where it's so easily accessible. So the first music video we will watch is their debut, which is Bad Girl. Very poppy, very almost typical of how most second gen debuts would come out, which is a little bit more poppy and like boyish, that sort of thing. Minus 2PM's, of course, because 2PM's was...
Oh, well, TPM's whole thing was about being men versus being like cutesy bubblegum idols.
Yeah. And the auto-tune, man.
Second gen was very famous for its auto-tune.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which is funny because especially with these groups that are continuing, like you realize that a lot of them were really vocally talented. Like,
oh yeah,
especially
you
like
would know.
Like Yosab. Yosab is like one of the greatest second gen vocalists who's not from a big three.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, which is crazy because I think their showcase, when they debuted the song and their personal showcase after the series, came out even before the music videos and everything. So you're hearing it live with no auto-tune. And everyone's like, oh yeah, I can get behind this. And you see the music video, you're like, wow, that's a lot of auto-tune. Everywhere.
Yeah. We can thank Cher for that, by the way, because I guess she was the first artist to ever use auto-tune in a music video or something.
Right, yeah. And as I mentioned before, they did have a hand in writing the lyrics to the song. All this choreography during their documentary, you can see from like ground zero all the way up building this, because so they actually split into two teams of three. I forgot who's in what and what, but like they were like, okay, we're gonna try like the first verse and the chorus, and over here you'll do the second verse and then do the same chorus, but see which one fits better for the song type thing. And then the choreographer teacher would just like kind of stand there and watch them. He was like, ooh, I kind of like when y'all did this during this line, but I also like this when you do this line. And he just kind of like combined it together, which was really
that's
cool.
Smart.
Yeah, so it's like a group project. So they put a lot of work into their debut.
It is weird to watch them as Beast when I knew them before as Highlight, before I ever knew Beast. And so like, Yosab and Kpop, they look exactly the same, like better hair. But you have Dojun, and I'm like, you're so tiny, and I just want to pinch your cheeks.
You're so skinny. Oh my god, I keep forgetting about this part. Of course, you must always have an iconic breakdance.
Oh yeah.
And I think they did keep it too for the live broadcast shows too.
I would expect it as a K-pop fan of like, okay, where's my dance break? Like you have it in the music video. This is back then it would have been considered cheesy. Now it's considered cheesy because we're like, ooh, what is this?
Right. But no, it's very common back then for them to include some sort of break dance or intro choreography type thing. And they kept it for all the live broadcasts. Now it's like, if they put a music video, you're like, I don't think they'll have it for the live broadcast. Probably not even there.
True.
that outro.
Okay, so couple of thoughts. Now that I'm more familiar with the group, especially now that they're older, not the worst second generation debut I've seen.
Not the worst, no.
And I'm not gonna throw U-Kiss under the bus again, because whatever they did to U-Kiss, like, that was... So if I was listening to K-pop back then, I would take this over SHINee's debut, because
I can see that.
Because SHINee, for a very long time, before I think once Jungyeon got more involved in the writing process and all that, was very like cutesy, bright colors. Like everyone makes the joke of like SM saving money by having Girl Generation and SHINee wear the same pants. This one, like, the song is bright, but like the image is darker. I can definitely see, especially with Jujun almost being in 2 p.m., like them kind of being like, oh, you know what? Let us kind of copy what they're doing a little bit,
right? But not fully copy, because everyone has their own charms. Because obviously Yosub is more on the cutesy side, and Kikwan, he's just more like, you can tell he works out sort of things, but he's still got that baby face that makes him really, really cute. It's like almost like Wonho, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a good blend of it as well, of them showing obviously their boyish charms, but at the same time being like, but we're not just like boys, like teenage boys.
Right.
We can also be somewhat a little bit mature, but not like super mature, where you're just kind of questioning everything, you know?
Right. Would be a risky move then, because again, at that time, really, the only B-Stol was 2 p.m. I only know the 4 current members of Highlight. Technically a new group to me. I think I only learned about them last year. But the member with the chestnut hair and the bowl cut.
Yes,
I hope you sued your stylist, because for those bangs, what was so at some points he had this, and then at some points, so you saw it too, where his bangs were like uneven, like they took the scissors and then somebody looked away and kind of like
that was a choice. That was a choice.
It was a choice. And then at other points you had the widow's peak, like Eddie Munster, like,
oh my god, yeah.
And then like halfway through he had like it styled up, and I'm like, what are we doing? It's like it's almost like Wasa during Del Kamani, where we're like, oh, it's blue, it's dark. Right. But then at the same time it's like, who? What?
Yeah, right, exactly. Right. There's the pros, there's the cons of it, but Hyunsa is just representing all the Asian kids that have bowl cuts, right?
The ones whose parents literally put the ball on their head.
and they can't cut straight for their save their lives, and they're like... However, in December, Beast won Rookie of the Month award from South Korea's Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism. And for the 19th Seoul Music Awards in 2010, they would win Best New Artist.
And it's always great to see these tiny no-name companies, no-name groups who actually beat out the bigger groups to win these bigger awards and stuff like that.
Beast released their second EP, Shock of the New Era, on March 1st, 2010, with the title track Shock. They would achieve their first music show win on M Countdown, just 162 days before their debut. This would be one of the fastest wins for the second gen, especially from a smaller company. Big Bang took almost a year, while 2 p.m. took 245 days, and Super Junior took about 7 months. SHINee took about 110 days from debut. The EP would go on to sell 20,000 copies in Korea and totaling to 60,000 copies by the end of the year. They would receive the Golden Disc Award from Universal Music, recognizing the sales they made in Singapore, Malaysia, and Taiwan. So this is their dipping their toes into a little bit more international sales, at least only in Asia, but internationally at least. Later in the year, in September, they released their third EP, Mastermind. The teaser would drop on their official website along with other online portals. Because of the rise in popularity and interest that Beast was gaining, servers were temporarily down due to the high amount of traffic.
Wow, that's impressive.
Because internet was very weird still kind of back then. And, you know, it's just like there's no social media or anything like that. Now we're so used to, like, you know, when we get tickets from Ticketmaster, there's like 60,000 people, 100,000 people in line. And, I mean, they can hold it on their own, obviously, because technology has come so far. But for that to go down, that's insane.
And again, we're talking about a tiny company from a brand new, tiny group from a brand new company who, again, was the recycled group.
Album sales reached upwards of 75,000 copies sold. In just a week, they would win on Music Bank with Breath, their title track. The concept continued to show their maturity from their debut of Bad Girl, but taking it up a notch from Shock. While Shock showed a much more darker side, showcased their powerful vocals, with Yosub stepping up to almost reaching his full potential, and a more B-Stol image that 2 p.m. has continued to pioneer in the second gen. The song itself is a high-energy synth pop feel with a heavy electronic beat, and the girl girl featured in the music video is Nayeon, who later debuted in A-Peak in early 2011.
And Cut Out Shock, which is my favorite Beast song, is my second one, but I haven't seen the music video, so I guess this is acceptable because it's technically a blind watch.
But I do like what Yosop did in this song, that running note type thing, because it was really, really good. And I think it was around the same time when IU dropped Good Day, when she hit those 3 octaves sort of thing. I was just like, I bet you anything Yosop saw that. I was like, I could do that. I could be like my girl.
You should also take note from that, guys, that if you're not an IU fanboy or fangirl, we don't trust you and you don't belong here. I actually just discovered this song, 2 months ago or something like that?
Okay. It's a good
I am
song.
still trying to find it online. I know it's the one with, like, the Jaguar on the cover or something.
Yeah, that's what it was, yeah. Dang, girl, you
God,
were
the
so
2010s, the emo swoops.
God, she was so skinny and small back then.
Oh, she's literally like, here, breathe.
Yeah, no, literally.
Let me talk about my 차갑게 돌아선 뒷모습에 시간이 잠시 멈춘 듯해 하얗게.
Oh, and Dongwoo doing this too? What an improvement. Because usually he's not like the lead vocalist or anything like that, but for him to step up like that was so good.
Not the slow-mo.
More slow-mo. Also, I like how their outfits fits the scene so much better. Does that make sense? It's almost like military and the world.
Oh, like a Mad Max apocalypse kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. I will say that Yosov has kind of a Kion face, where like everyone else kind of fits that darker image, and then there's the cutie patootie who's kind of, because if you go back and watch Monsta X's debut, like Kion looks like somebody's little brother who got trapped in the prison with them.
You're like, if you slap on some eyeliner, you can fit right in.
Which is what they did with poor Yosov.
There's a lot of slow-mo. I didn't realize that.
I actually think it kind of fits, because it kind of represents taking in a breath and like slowly letting it out almost.
For sure.
Also, I feel like Rocky and Jinjin stole some of their choreography from this.
Oh crap, I forgot that her shortless. I forgot her shortless.
Oh, the orchestra in the back, that's cool.
Yeah. I don't remember if they actually include that in the actual music performances or not. Maybe like the song they perform, you know how they usually, during like comeback days, they have 2 songs to perform or whatever?
Right.
Yeah. No, girl!
Oh, that is some thick eyeliner. Not Beast trying to be the My Chemical Romance of K-pop idols.
I was about to say. Dang. Kpop be stealing Joyoung's girl.
I really like that because, again, I've never seen that before. I've only heard the song. I will say this is technically the debut of Beastles, and even then, like, you really just had 2 p.m. until, like, BTS and Monsta X and all of them came out.
Right.
That whoever, first off, your stylist was a lot better this time. The hair was a lot better. But the stylist clearly knew who to showcase in their outfits. Like, whereas this stylist clearly understood that Kikwan is the body guy. And so, like, he's got the deep V that shows off his chest, and his arms and back are always on display. Now, I don't think he was the one in the dance scene.
So that half-naked one where he was, like, on his knees, and he was, like, doing this, it was actually Hyunsung.
I would have just said, yeah, the one that was shirtless. Anne's like, no, the half-naked one.
The sleeper of it is Hyunsung,
right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a shocker too. I think at the time no one thought about that. But you know, like when you go back and you pause the video, they were looking at the arms. From the arms, they can tell it was easily Hyunsung because Hyunsung's arm was a little bit bigger than Kikwan's at the time. So.
Right. We here at Wonderful Beauty, we love a good water attack. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think it really does fit the, like, just the whole music video in general. And her choreography, it fits the song super well. Nothing was like out of place or anything like that.
No, I agree.
So following a huge success of Mastermind, they dropped their 4th EP quickly in November, Lights Go On Again. Their title track, Beautiful, would be the group's first #1 spot on the Gaon album chart. With an accumulation of sales with shock of the new era, Mastermind and Lights Go On Again, B2ST would be the only Ruka group in 2010 to sell over 100,000 copies. And the hard work with the group and fans was definitely shown at the 25th Golden Disc Awards, winning the Best New Artist Award. 3 days later, they held their first solo concert at the Gemcell Indoor Stadium with 10,000 fans in attendance, which is pretty good chunk for their first concert.
Oh, 100%.
On May 17, 2011, B2ST dropped their first full album, Fiction and Fact, with the album peaking at #1 on the Gaon album chart and would go on to sell over 142,000 copies by the end of the year. Singles-wise, Fiction, which is their title track, and On Rainy Days, which is their pre-release track, so even before they dropped the album or anything, they just released like a digital single of On Rainy Days, were a commercial success, selling 2.6 million and 2.8 million copies respectively. And I believe they meant like downloads is what they're trying to say.
Remember back in the day when we had to download our music because you couldn't stream it?
While recording for the album, the track producer said the group recorded On Rainy Days on an actual rainy day to feel the vibes. In the end, it took longer than usual when recording because they had to stop multiple times because they were feeling super emotional or were crying. those poor sensitive boys. On Rainy Days also solidified their name in the K-pop industry with one of the most iconic broadcasting music show performances. On Ikingayo, they performed On Rainy Days with what we love here on Wonderful Beauty is the water effect, but because it's a ballad, they won't be dancing. Instead, they'll be standing under pouring rain to show the melancholy and the emotions of the song. However, there was an error. Obviously, there was no run-through of this since they would be wasting water and the cleanup in between will take a long time. So when performing, the crew didn't realize just how much of a water pressure there would be when pouring the water down the boys. Let me tell y'all, it's like, if you live in Texas, you know this. It's that instant downpour where you can't see 1 feet in front of you. It's like so bad. Maybe not that bad, but it was pretty bad. It was just like, instead of like you like a tiny little drizzle, a sprinkle, it's like storms here. So all 6 were hella drenched, makeup was gone, hair, the styled hair, flat, eyes squinting for their lives. And remember, you guys, this is on the internet, so you can search that up, okay? On Rainy Days, Inkigayo live performance. It will be right there. But vocally, they remain professional and carry on the performance with no errors.
But whose idea was it to, instead of having just a rain system, to be like, you know what, we're just gonna dump all this water on you at the exact same time, like...
I mean, I'm sure they had a rain system type thing, but I think maybe they just didn't realize how much of a pressure or amount they're turning out, so... Yeah,
there's probably some poor intern who turned the dial too hard, and everyone else is looking at him, and he's like, I can't turn it off!
and then he, like, breaks the wheel.
Right.
But years later, when they became Highlight and appeared on Shotofu with Jessie, which we love here, they laughed at the struggles, but Jessie showed just how legendary they were back in the days. They interviewed, they being the Shotofu cast, they interviewed a producer of Inkigayo, and the reason to put such a stage like this is because Kikwan at the time was the MC, and his personality and care to the role reached to the rest of the staff. A stage that required a ton of work like this is a lot of effort and risk, but the producer felt an affinity to Beast that he didn't mind putting a stage like this for them. I think also during that episode, when they showed the clip of it, like Yosef and Kik was like, "Oh my god, look at it! Oh my god, why do we want this?" and all sort of stuff. But Dushin, being the comedian that he is, Dushin was like, I'm sure it's because, they want to make sure that they clean the stage at the same time, so they just got to turn it up on high, 2 for 1.
Right. Which I'm going to say it probably really sucks for Yosef, because Yosef is my height. We're both 5'7".
Yeah.
And so, it's one thing, if you were SF9, you got all that water coming down on you. Yes, it's going to hurt, but you're getting it before gravity fully takes over.
Right.
So I'm just imagining poor Yosef and all that water comes down and he's just struggling to stay up.
And then on top of that, being the main vocalist, there's high notes everywhere in that song too, by the way. So he's just trying to hit them. But back to the album and Fiction, their title track. Fiction is a ballad through and through, but adding a steady electronic beat made a more high-tempo dance track. The track gives it an easy listen with a repetitive piano riff. The music video is set like a K-drama, with actress Park Bo-yeon as the lead female.
Which I have to say, this song is up there with quintessential K-pop history songs.
Oh, for sure.
Everyone's gonna mention Sorry, Nobody But Wonder Girl, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you talk to anyone who was there during the time or you ask a recommendation, they're gonna say either Fiction or Shock. Definitely.
Yeah, and I think Fiction also is a great intro without being too crazy. It's like if I introduce you Bad Girl or whatever, you're like, that's kind of weird. But if I do Fiction as a general listen to someone who has never listened to K-pop, I feel like that's an easier way to ease them into the K-pop culture.
I agree. And especially if you showed the music video, because this has got some of the most iconic footwork from the second gen.
She looks so young back then.
I don't think I've seen anything that she's been in. She doesn't look familiar.
I'm gonna have to search up real fast and what other K-drama she's in. But she's most well known to be in that Straw Woman, Bon Su. I forgot the whole title, but I just remember Straw Woman.
I also like the constant script sound that's going on in the background during the song.
And also, I'm sure people probably know or do not know, Jonghyun's the one that's been producing and writing most of these songs that Beast has released thus far at this time. So, for him to also think outside the box and making it different, but also make sure it's still that Beast sound, is very talented, You're constantly evolving and everything, yet he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna keep this to make sure this is the sound of Beast.
Right, and it's great to see self-producing groups do hit after hit after hit. So I'm not going to name the group because I've mentioned it before, but there are current self-producing groups and they experimented with their sound, and a lot of us kind of agreed that we didn't prefer that sound that came out to where they went back to their old sound. So it's definitely when you're self-producing, it's definitely a give or take situation.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then honestly, anytime you're producing a new album, mini album, whatever it may be, you're taking this risk, right? So I'm sure Jonghyun's like, I want to do something different, but how can I do it in a more safe way, but also for us to go outside the box and taking that tiny little risk, one step at a time without going too crazy. Realizing most of these music videos have been pretty dark and emo.
They really have. I was thinking that because one of the members has the emo switch again, and I'm like, they're almost like the anti-shiny.
I know, right? I was over here, Hyunsun sticking a sword thumb with his orange hair.
Again, there's always that one member.
Yeah, there's always that one member. It's always either Hyunsun or Yosef that's taking a hit.
That's true, because we will see Yosef with orange hair in the next episode.
I know, right? Oh my god. But I think maybe 2 or 3 of them have more brighter hairs. I could be wrong in the next one. I could be wrong. I haven't seen the next one in such a long time, so. Also, making them dance in sand, that's crazy.
I wonder if it's actually sand, because in Bad Girl they were dancing in sand, but you could hear the sound of their shoes on like the dance room floor, the studio floor almost.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To where it's like, oh, did they just put like a scene over the music video? I get it. You love her.
Leave. That's
so aggressive.
Stalker.
It is really interesting to go from that really aggressive rap of "I love you, I love you, I love you," and then Jujun comes in and it's sad and melancholy.
Right. Yeah. It's almost like that inner fight with yourself. You know, like I really, really love her, but then there's this. You know, I think it's just like an inner battle, which works out really well. Because you have the aggressive side, you have this like softer side, like, oh no, I shouldn't.
Ooh.
I'm sure it's just effects, but it would really suck if it's actually sand. It would catch his eyes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, girl, do it. Write your heart out.
Seriously, we can't be serious on this show. Like, we always have to ruin a serious moment.
No. Otherwise, I might start crying.
Right.
But yeah, a very good song, and it honestly became like one of the more iconic songs, honestly, for the second generation.
And I can 100% see why.
Because of their first album, B2ST became the household name of the second generation. Pretty much unheard of from a group coming from a smaller company and not the big three. B2ST would go on to win many awards thanks to this album. They won Artist of the Year on the Gaon Chart Music Awards, a Bullseye on Golden Disc Awards for Album of the Year, Best Male Dance Performance at Mama, Song of the Year at the KBS Music Festival, and the biggest one, the Daesun, at the Melon Music Awards. They also got a commendation from the South Korea's Minister of Culture at the 2011 Korean Popular Culture and Arts Award for their contribution to the pop culture and spread of the Hallyu Wave. They are also the reason why there is the Hallyu Wave as well. Not just Shiny, Girls' Generation, Super Junior, everyone else, it's also them too.
I believe that a lot more than U-Kiss. Because when you mentioned that U-Kiss was part of the Hallyu Wave, I was like, where? Where?
In 2012, they announced their first world tour, The Beautiful Show, including stops throughout Asia, Europe, and North America. Now you're thinking, Anne, you're a beauty. You must have attended it, and you had a blast, and you finally got to meet Yosef, and y'all talked and walked up to the sunset together. But the answer is no. The sad thing about this tour was that it wasn't even a world tour, nor did it even make it that far. The dates and stops they were making all around was super fast-paced, and on top of that, logistically, it wasn't working in Cube's favor. Overseas tickets were not selling out compared to stops like Korea and Japan, which, sold out very quickly. And the justification of moving a ton of equipment and crew was not matching the sales along with production costs. Company-wise and business-wise, they would just take a major loss.
Right.
But Anne, you just said B2ST is making a name of themselves in the Hallyu Wave. They're getting just as big as 2PM, Big Bang, Shiny, and more. Even Big Bang toured in 2012, and they sold out everywhere. That is true, but there is an issue because Big Bang, or technically YG, because they're the one who's running all the logistics and stuff like that, partnered with Live Nation, which is the biggest promoter you could ever get in the music industry.
Right.
But Cube themselves decided to cut a little bit of corners and opted to smaller, local, and independent promoters for each stop. Not one, each stop. Okay? So, they could be touring, and I think the dates were, or not the dates, the stops, was LA, New York, and possibly San Francisco. It's like California, New York only at the time, of course.
Right.
I think they were like, San Francisco will have this like one company, and then LA, different company, and then New York, different company. Like, that's dumb. I don't understand why they would do that, but that's what they were trying to do, I guess. So I never got to see them. I even missed out on seeing them twice at the Korean music festivals. I will never see them.
We will make up for it at some point. They will eventually perform at KCON, and we will go. If they announce that they are at KCON, I'm going to be like, Ann, we got to clear our summer schedule.
Gotta go. The kids doing what? Nah, throw them out. Let's go.
Right. If Kevin does not understand, I will leave him a note and divorce papers as we go on to LA.
We're on a plane. He's leaving voicemails like he did when he lost the dog. On July 21st, B2ST released their 5th EP, Midnight Sun, and debuted as #1 at the Gaon album chart once more. On top of that, they appeared on the Billboard World Albums chart at number 15. This album will also help them win a Boson at the Golden Disc Awards, and the 2nd consecutive award for Artist of the Year at the Melon Music Awards. Midnight Sun was largely written by Junghyun and became a first for the group in having their title track not produced by their go-to producer, Shin Sang-dong Tiger, which he has been, like, he always had a hand even from like debut, even pre-debut, I think, because I think he did have a hand in AJ's solo. Okay. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that, but he did write a bunch of songs under Q, so he did a lot for 4 minutes at a time as well. He has a huge hand, and of course, like, the B2ST members were credited for it, but there's always a Shin Sang-dong Tiger on there too. So this is the one where his name does not appear whatsoever.
Okay, so he was like the Teddy of Cube, basically.
Oh, he's pretty much like Bunsu as well. Pretty much like Bunsu and Woozy, Teddy of YG. Yeah, that's the same thing too. But then just imagine like somehow G-Dragon and Taeyang and Daesun just fully took over, and you don't see Teddy anywhere if they're still under like YG producing music type of thing. So for filming the music video, B2ST went to New York City during a week-long shoot. This is the wild part, you guys. I remember seeing something circular around, like a screenshot of how Q was trying to find extras for this music video shoot. They did, and to search for this, okay, you guys, are you ready for this? They did the good old Craigslist ad. Who remembers Craigslist?
It's still around, by the way, just so you know. It's not as popular anymore, because remember that was that whole Craigslist killer thing?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But no, it's still around.
I do not remember what it said word for word, but I for sure remember the gist of the contents of the ad. So first, you must be in New York City. Of course, right? Locality. Local actors, models, and club goers are totally cool because, you know, they can fit the part and all sort of stuff. Next one that's also required. Must have blonde hair and blue eyes.
How would you even go about finding this? Like, especially because Craigslist is like if you took a newspaper, the classifieds, and a message board and put it all into one. Are you just a local NYC like model scrolling through Craigslist and you see a random post that says looking for extras for K-pop music video when K-pop like
unheard still technically, yeah.
If you were one of these people who found this post back in the day, please reach out to us. I need to hear your story. Like, how did you stumble across this?
But since people who showed up for the audition didn't fit the appearance description, I think they just only saw like local actors, models, whatever, right? They ignore the part of the appearance. The company did open it up for a wider audience and thus a more diverse crowd in the music video, which we will get to see in that. I just remember when that was circulating around, there were mixed feelings about that. And obviously the ones who are in New York, I think there was an age limit too, for sure, because at that time we were a little bit on the younger side. So I remember just fans were like, oh, I wish I can go, but I'm like, this age, like I'm under, I think it was like 25 up or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, there's a certain age group. And then, fans were like, oh, that could have been me, but I don't have blonde hair, blue eyes.
I just like,
oh my God.
Considering a certain Asian country's history with another country, why would you think that was a good idea? Like, I'm glad that they let more people in because I couldn't imagine watching a music video and everybody looks
the same.
The same, like a bunch of pod people.
Right, yeah.
That's all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I think we have come a long ways in terms of like accepting other people for who they are, is what I will say.
Right.
Asian countries, the missing as a whole of how Americans are, or even just white people in general, is very narrow-minded. But that could be say the same as American and white people viewing all Asian countries as one too.
Right.
So that's my mindset, especially for back then, and not gaining this big international following like we do now, right? Because obviously we see a lot more inclusion with different 5th gens music videos nowadays. Even like when, you know, 2nd gens, 3rd gens, and 4th gens are making comebacks, we see more inclusion, you know, different colored people and different backgrounds and those sort of things. But back then, I'm sure there are a few of like American people. It's just this.
Right. And it's just funny to think that they went to New York of all places. Like if they'd gone to California, they would have had a little easier time. But you're talking about a place that, New York City, literally a place that has boroughs for like Dominicans, Irish, Italians. Like you chose the wrong city, Cube.
Yeah, no, literally a melting pot. And it's just like at the same time as you're watching his music video, you're gonna realize where they're filming this. I think it also filmed in like Harlem. And you're just like, come on now. But we will watch this. This will be very fun and also very different from what we have seen so far. Most of them has been pretty dark, mature, emo-esque, you know? So this one's a little bit more lighthearted.
All right, cool. I've heard the song, so I know that this is a much, not that that matters, because again, they've had bright songs and still had dark concepts.
Right. Oh yeah, he did have blonde hair back then. That's what it was.
What is with that perm?
He's trying to be like Zello.
Imagine. Oh my god, I forgot about that part.
He thinks he's so cool.
Remember, guys, Anne likes guys that are attractive but a little weird. Okay,
yeah,
dude, I see you.
Yeah, I know, right? He actually looks really good. Oh, hey, Spurs!
All right. Ooh, they're actually playing tonight.
Oh, they are? Cool.
Yes, because they're in the finals right now.
Yeah, they're in the finals. I know Texas is really cheering for them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, Dongwoo, what did they do? I forgot about them. Oh my god, what is going on with you, man?
Why does he look like he's their pimp?
It would be the Macne being the...
Sir, why did we bring this hairstyle back from your debut days? Why is it uneven like that?
Oh my god, the blue suit! Oh my god. But as you can see, the crowd, there's diversity, you guys! Oh my god. I wonder if that alleyway is still there. Maybe different graffiti, but you know, like this.
If it is, they definitely went over the Beast logo.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Man, Dongwoo is giving me hardcore, like, Chansung vibes right now. That's like greasy, like, look.
Okay, Keekwon's hair doesn't look so bad when it's not perm.
Right, yeah. Oh, right, he has purple hair in this one.
Yeah, like... it's giving a little G-Dragon and T.O.P. actually. Mm-hmm. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember back in the day too, this is totally like unrelated almost, they did compare Junghyun to G-Dragon a lot. Like, because,
oh, really?
You know, yeah, I think it's just like in terms of like producing songs, songwriting, that sort of thing, so. But, I mean, like rap style wise, I can't see any similarities whatsoever, you know? Because Junghyun has his own style, and G-Dragon obviously has his own style, so. But, I mean, people will pick on anything. It's like when BAP debuted it, they were comparing, not Youngkook, Himchan. They were comparing Himchan to T.O.P. I was like, not even close. Why are you even trying? Yeah, I know. Himchan has his own thing, and T.O.P. has his own thing. It's just because they have a deeper voice. That's all it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I love that song. I will say really that, one, I hope that Kikon was wearing a wig because that chemical's on his hair. Because at one moment it's straight and then it's permed. I'm like, please tell me that was a wig. I will say that this video definitely proves why Doojun is my bias wrecker. Because outside of his ridiculous hair, I was not focused on Kikon whatsoever.
No, he looked really good in this one. And I was just like, man, he did look really good back then. I don't know if I ever mentioned this. Doojun was known, so you know how Korea has their own like names, like I use the nation's little sister and all sort of things.
Right.
Doojun was named at the time as the nation's boyfriend. So
okay.
He was definitely leaning into that a lot more. I think this is like the height of him being the boyfriend, the nation's boyfriend.
So it's a little less weird now that Eric was named the nation's boyfriend because it's like, oh, he wasn't the first one. Okay, it's a little less weird.
It's a little less weird. I'll mention this later on in this episode, but Doojun landed a good amount of like acting gigs, and most of them just shows his charms. And I don't think any of them showed him like dating in the series or anything like that. He was just charming to girls that he gained that boyfriend title type thing. So
okay.
But variety show wise, as he appears as guests and everything, he was very like super polite, and the mannerisms were off the roof. He was super polite to the ladies as well. So like if he sees like a girl sitting down, he'll go out his way, grab a blanket and put on their laps type of thing. So he takes care. Also in 2012, Beast would embark on a ton of solo activities for the members. Yosub will release his first mini-solo album, The First Collage. Kikon would promote in a variety of shows. Jonghyun continued to produce more songs, making a name as one of the biggest producers at the time. Doojun was cast in dramas, notably Iris 2, so the sequel to Iris, and everyone knows Iris, right? So this is a huge deal. Dongwoon would be one of the leading actors in their musical Catch Me If You Can. The year ended out quietly in terms of their group promotion. In July 29th, 2013, almost 1 year since their last comeback, Beast released their second full album, Hard to Love, How to Love. But this was worth the wait, as this whole album was fully produced by Beast themselves. Pulling a full 180, their concept was a more melancholy and broody mood. Fans, in return, made sure to welcome the boys back with open arms, making their pre-release track Will You Be Okay debut at #1 on both Gaon digital charts and Billboard's K-pop Hot 100. But just like before, the members continued to do solo activities. Even after dropping a great second album, Jonghyun would break into acting, landing a lead role in Monstar, and release his first solo mini album, Flower. Doojun continued with his promos for Iris 2 and also landed with the most iconic role, Let's Eat Season 1. Kikwan landed a few roles in the K-drama world, but continued to host and participate in variety shows. Dongwon would continue his musical residency, with Hyunsun and Yosub also joining the musical theater side with Bonnie and Clyde and Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, respectively. Of course, their next comeback would be for yet another year, just like before. On June 16, 2014, Beast released their 6th EP, Good Luck. While some groups tend to lose steam by this point, Beast continues to prove just how much of a powerhouse they are in the second gen. Critics claim that this would be the group's finest body of work, the peak of their musicality, maturity, and commercial power. To also solidify that fact, Billboard would name Good Luck as the best K-pop song of the year and ranked #2 for the year by Days.
I don't know if I know this one.
This is a really good one. It's pretty upbeat. I wouldn't say emo, but it's more upbeat, a little bit dark. So it's a really good song. I like this one.
I feel like we've used the word emo a lot to describe these boys. I know,
and I feel so bad because I'm just like, you're just so cheerful and they're dorks. And yet here we are. They're showing like dark songs. I'm seeing a pattern here. I'm just like, man, I should have made more upbeat songs than this. She was in the bed. Come on now.
I was about to say, sir.
Sir! You should know better.
She's going to be so uncomfortable when she wakes up. Oh, hello. There was no spicy warning before this video.
I forgot about that, let's be honest. I forgot about all this. I just remember it's a good song.
I don't think I know this one.
Also, Yosub sung this with no backtrack. for all live performances. It's so good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be chilling.
Oh, for sure. Every single time. Oh. Yo, what is the Magnet getting gay here? Hold on.
Right?
Yes, no game.
I'm actually kind of surprised this doesn't have like a 15+ rating in the corner or something.
Maybe it's because you're fully clothed.
It's still pretty damn spicy though.
Okay, Yosef's shirt has to be on purpose. Okay, you gotta know.
Is he a shirt on or not? I can't tell.
I know, I can't tell either. Now I'm gonna concentrate on Hyun Sun. Hold on. No, that's skin. I think that was skin.
I will say, whoever their videographer are, they're really good about showing skin, but like being far away to where you can't tell exactly what's going on.
Right. You start questioning a little bit, you concentrate a little bit harder.
Oh.
Oh, dang girl.
Bring him to the front. We're trying to solve a mystery here.
And that's how you get up to fuse. Concert replays.
That's a great marketing strategy, actually.
Yeah, it's just like certain dance moves. You just can't tell.
All right, hold on.
Hold on. Zoom in. You're just like pinching the screen and zoom in.
Okay, it's skin. I saw his belly button. Okay. Again, it wasn't important. I wasn't looking for dirty reasons. It was just bothering me because I could not figure out the mystery. And I demand that stays in the video.
B2ST didn't want to make fans wait because they would go on to release their 7th EP almost right away, dropping in October for their 5th anniversary. So fast forward to the year 2015, July 27th, they released their 8th EP, Ordinary, with 2 singles, Gotta Go to Work and Yay. While Yay was heavily promoted, I wanted to show Gotta Go to Work because I truly believe this would be the groundwork of what will become Highlight. Ooh, foreshadowing. The Ordinary album overall was good, but charting wise, it wasn't like how it was before, hitting #1, all that stuff. But fans can see what the purpose of the album is trying to do. They're starting to stray a bit further away from their previous releases of broody and darker themes and leaning more towards a more mature yet lighter version of themselves. This is a really cute music video, and I'm gonna tell you, this is super Doojun based, so I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry at the same time. This will also like kind of solidify why he was named the nation's boyfriend. I'll say that.
Hey, I gotta go to work, but I can go. Oh, no.
Sir, why do you sound like G-Dragon right there?
The only time. Because it's too sweet. Get it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And now he's like, I gotta go to work, man. I gotta go.
I was gonna say, she's so angry with him right now.
Yeah, because he's leaving her. Like, I gotta go and make money, ma'am.
He's starting to look a little concerned now.
He's like, dude, I'm late, man. So I can get you a purse. We can go have funsies so I make money.
Oh, hey, I actually got to leave the apartment, okay. Otherwise, I would have been like, witch!
Oh, the typical commute of the subway.
The endless grind, I know that feeling.
Sir, that's not how you type.
Oh, so now you want the bags and the shoes.
Baby 자꾸 보채지마 지금 너에게 가고 있어 그렇게 보고 싶으면 집 앞 너등 밑에 따뜻하게 입고 마중 나와 있어
Okay, that was cute.
It was really cute, but it's like more cutesy and more of like, if you're in a relationship, you definitely know this feeling of like, you want to be with your loved one, but you gotta go to work and make money.
I understand now knowing the history of like him being known as the nation's boyfriend, why he was center stage. If you hadn't told me that beforehand, I would have been like, well, why wasn't Yosob kind of the center of the music video? Because like we mentioned, Yosob is more the cutie patootie member of the group. Whereas like Kikwan can go back and forth. Like he can sometimes be really cute. He can sometimes be really masculine and hot.
Like I said, I think this is like kind of a great foreshadowing of like what they were going to do in the future, you know, as Highlight later on. As you look at what Highlight did, at least when they first debuted, it's almost in that same realm of what Gotta Go to Work is. Because Beast at the time, they know them more for like more upbeat and dancey tracks and a little bit more broody and melancholy. This is like their, I think the most recent song they would put out at that time that's like cheerful and uplifting almost, you know? The rest is just like sadness, darkness.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it more when we actually get to the Highlight episode. But like, Highlight does a weird thing where like, as they mature, they seem to get dumber. Like, boy dumb. Like, you know how boys are just dumb and playful? Because a lot of them, I mean, they have a song called Body. And literally half of the choreography is just them stretching. Like,
because they're Ajushi. Say it with me now.
Hey. We are the same age as Yosob. Don't play with me right now.
On April 19, 2016, which funny enough that April 19 is also A-Pink's anniversary. But anyways, Cube Entertainment announced the departure of Hyunsung. The statement would include it was his decision to leave the group due to differences of opinion between him and the other members concerning their music. In the beauty fandom, we were actually all not that surprised. During the promos of the Ordinary album, Hyunsung would skip scheduled fan meetings due to personal reasons. But photos would later surface of him sitting at a cafe with an acquaintance. It would be later debunked that it was just a meeting to take care of family business on the anniversary of his father's death. But Cube, why couldn't you just say that from the forefront, right? Why you gotta make beauty, like, do, like, the digging, all sorts of things for that. Also, what also didn't help his case is throughout the end of 2015 to early 2016, he seemed a bit detached during group interviews, alternating choreography that you can tell that they did not plan this ahead at all, and appearing disengaged on stage. Clips were put together of the evidence, and fans demanded an explanation for the sudden change. But by early 2016, Hyunsun would travel separately from the group, whether it be by car or by plane, and never arriving at the same time for set schedules. For Q to announce his departure, fans were of course divided. They were somewhat relieved because now Hyunsun won't harm the image of Beast that they built for the past 7 years, but also sad because the brotherhood and friendship they developed since pre-debut is now shattered. To know about Hyunsun, he would later on in 2017 come out with an apology letter about his actions, owning and acknowledging what his attitude change has done for the whole group. And as of recently, he did appear on Sip Daesun's YouTube series, commemorating his first episode as a special guest. He also released a few solo stuff and continues to appear on some variety shows here and there to talk about the past and the future and how he's in a much better place mentally. The running theory is that ever since his father passed away, something probably changed in his mental state. Obviously, I'm sure he's close to his father. I'm not blaming him for this. I think maybe it's just like almost like a reality check of like, oh crap, he passed at a younger age. You know what I'm saying? So he's probably like, what am I doing with my life? All these sort of things. And while he did do fairly well up to like 2016, something must have happened to where something clicked in his head where he's probably like, this idol life is not for me anymore.
And it's very common when you lose your parents at a young age that, like, as you get closer to that age, your parents pass at a younger age is what I meant to say.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
As you get closer to that age, you kind of start to worry about your own well-being in your own life because, like, so my grandmother passed when she was 51. Mm-hmm. When my mother hit 50, you know, she kind of went through that whole state of like, oh, my mother passed a year, you know, the year after she turned 50. Like, what am I doing with my life? What could I do differently that mom didn't do, you know? Which my mother is still with us very much.
Oh, yeah,
my mother is out here going to see Wonho with us. Like,
dude, she goes on cruises, I swear, every other week, okay?
Right. Which, let me preface, guys, my mother's not an Ajiwa. She's not old.
And I'm sure it's very hard for Hyunsun. And I do like the fact, I know some people are kind of hate on Hyunsun or they feel really bad for him, obviously very divided. Everyone's right to their own opinions. In my own opinion, I'm glad that he stepped up and apologized for that and really acknowledging the fact that like, oh yeah, no, I definitely messed up on that. I was not in the greatest mental state whatsoever. I was not feeling it, all sort of things. And I feel bad for, you know, my other 5 members, my 5 brothers, right? That we've been together since pre-debut for years and years and years. You know, I kind of ruined it, right? Ruined what Beast could be as they continue to grow as 6. And I'm glad that Hyunsun is kind of coming back, not in a big way, obviously, but he has been appearing in a bunch of variety shows, like I said. And a lot of people do ask about him, of course, like, hey, what happened with the Beast thing? And why did you leave? All sort of stuff. He's been very upfront about it and being very honest. He was like, I feel bad. Like, he always says, I feel bad for the boys. It is what it is. I was not in the greatest mental state. I just wanted to focus on myself, that sort of thing. But he always acknowledged the fact what he did was wrong.
And it really is a big thing for him to come up and be honest and apologize for. Because we do see some idols in the past couple of generations that have done the exact same thing. Where they look disconnected. They look like they don't want to be there. Or they'll say or do stupid things that reflect back on the group.
Yeah.
And we don't get any sort of explanation. We don't get any sort of apology.
Right. They don't really own up to it. But the show continues on for Beast. Approaching their 7-year exclusive contract with Cube, they released their 3rd full-length album, Highlight, on July 4th with its title track, Ribbon. After the departure of their 6th member, Ribbon did not help the mood at all. Ribbon is a beautiful song, don't get me wrong, but the lyrics sing about a relationship falling apart, much like the falling out of Hyunsun and the Beast members. Connection.
Who thought that it was a good idea to release it as the title track?
Junghyun! On top of that, later on in the year, another major change would come for the group. But let's watch the Ribbon music video and we'll discuss more about this major change. They're walking on cracks, like the cracks of their heart. I don't know. Just like looking into it, you know. You know,
and
when,
very
like,
invested in whatever floor they're on in these music videos.
They keep showing the floor. It's right there.
I would hope so.
They're just levitating. Magic.
Okay, Keekwon, I don't know who keeps putting you in puffy bowl cuts, but please don't let them do it anymore. Okay, hips.
Hips. It's still live.
Kind of throws off the vibe of the song a little bit. This is completely random, but it does tie to the video.
Okay.
I love Keekwon in really big hoop earrings. I don't know what it is, but like in a lot of his stuff and in highlight and all that, he always has the really big earrings. And he doesn't exactly have what I call Wonho ears, because Wonho has the big ears. Well, he did. He had the big ears that stuck out. Especially because if you're looking at Keekwon, most people wouldn't even look at his ears because a lot of them don't get past his lips because he's got those really full lips. But I really like that. I like that he's kind of stuck with that over the years.
Yeah. I think maybe the stylists do know something about that because they're probably like, this will like feature his like face a little bit better or something like that.
Right.
Like a good
I
balance.
can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I just need to know what goes on in Jonghyun's like brain when he comes up with these songs and lyrics, and like the delivery of the lyrics is just like always so good and unique and almost like iconic. Every like song that Jonghyun puts out and him rapping it, the delivery of it is always so unique and different and like just good. Like it scratches your brain in the best way possible.
I agree.
Dude, Yosef, it's just a dress. It's not even the girl.
Hey, maybe he wants a refund on the dress. You don't know.
I still have the receipt.
Right? Again, we can't take a serious moment serious ever.
I just kind of noticed. They don't really feature... Oh, God. Man. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think they featured Dongwoo here as much compared to the other members.
No, I agree. I was gonna say the same thing. He only appears in like small little cameos every now.
Yeah, very small. It's definitely more, almost more Keekwon, Jonghyun, and Doojun forward. Like even Yosef didn't appear as much as I thought he would.
No, he just appears, does the high note, and it's like, I did my job.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is weird that now that we've reached this stage, the fact that the Maknae is starting to look a lot older than the other members. Yosab and Keekwon have literally not aged whatsoever. Right. And Doojun, you've seen him get older, but all of a sudden, Do-won is all of a sudden a lot older looking than everybody else.
In the month of their 7th anniversary, Cube and Beast decided to part ways. I'm sure this wasn't an easy decision to be made, especially since Cube literally founded Beast, a rags to riches story, who gave them a second chance and succeeded in the second-gen lineup of the big three companies. And Beast heavily brought in a ton of attention to Cube Entertainment and brought in stock for the company. The decision wasn't the typical reason of they were mistreated. It was more of what Cube could do for them, and not willing to let them go and continue to grow in their own career. Beast wanted to seek new challenges and establish their own path, which means more control over their careers, music, and schedule. Cube, however, offered a compromise to keep them in the company. The boys would stay, but can operate their own individual subsidiary label, which is similar to how SM would do. I think by the time they did do it, or later on, I forgot the timeline of this, but SM will be running Super Junior. They have their own company, which is label SJ. So it's like a not like a sister company, but just like a subsidiary type thing. This wasn't what the boys wanted. They wanted to form their own label, which typically is hard to do. Forming your own company takes a ton of finances, plus time and effort. While it's not really unheard of today, back then it was rough. The only group that was able to do that would be the first generation group, Shinhwa, who built their own company to manage the group as a whole on their own. So it's not even they form a company and they decide to take, like, like Jake Park. He formed AOMG and he took on many rappers. No, Shinhwa just formed their company just so they can manage themselves, and that's it. They don't want to take on any trainees, any groups, nothing. It's just Shinhwa themselves. So Highlight or Beast at the time had that mindset of we are gonna manage our own things, our own way, and our own label company type thing. And on top of that, the boys would be on their own, literally managing their own careers. That's on the line. While Cube and Beast couldn't reach an agreement, Beast decided to leave, but they would go on their merry way with Beast and their songs. But what? Cube decided to keep it? That's right. Cube kept the copyrights to their names and their songs. Wow.
For a very, very, very long time.
Wow. What a move, too. Dishearten the boys, kick them down. But that didn't stop them. Instead of just putting everything on hold and fighting a long legal battle with their ex-company, the 5 boys decided to drop the Beast name altogether and start over with the new name Highlight. They would go on to form Around Us Entertainment, which, by the way, is currently the old JYP building.
Yes, yes it is.
What a full circle moment for the JYP trainees, aka all of them, except for Hyunsun. Oh wait, that's already left. So all
I was
of them.
gonna say, so it doesn't matter.
And continued their much success in the industry. This gamble was huge for a second-gen group, but the payoff was well worth it. And like TJ said, it was a long legal battle, but I'm sure we will talk more of that in the highlights because that would be the timeline of that. So that is the end of the Beast era, and Cube, you still suck.
And she's not just saying that as a Beast fan. We have actually mentioned before that Cube is not exactly the greatest company. Outside of Idol, do they have anyone else?
Soyeon, you can do so much better. I feel like Soyeon can form her own company at this point. With all the money she's making, with all the songs she'd be producing. I mean, come on.
I think that Soyeon probably does own Cube.
At the Mama Awards, because people were very confused if they were going to re-sign under Cube or not. And she's like, oh, we re-signed for another 3-ish years or something like that. And everyone's like, what are you doing? And everyone's like, no, you know what? Soyeon probably fought really hard for it, and they just let her leave. She didn't even have to try hard. She just said, I want to do this. And they're like, sold.
Probably. She was probably like, hey, we're your last group. Maybe you should do what I want to say, or I'm going to literally put all the girls in the bag. My bag, pun intended, and be like...
just drag them out, yeah. So that's the journey of Beast, literally rags to riches. This is a true underdog story that I absolutely love.
They have a happy ending now. I'll get into that next week when we do the episode, because I will actually be doing highlight. It's nice to see the underdog win.
It's a very triumphant story for Beast, and I'm so glad that they continue on and matured and all those other things. And they really did have a really good run under the Beast name, for sure.
Right.
But yeah, so that is the episode and the retrospective of Beast. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and hopefully our used to be or still is beauty. So rise up.
Oh no. One of these days you're going to say the wrong thing and somebody is going to rise up, because we're still waiting for babies to start setting fires over Korea.
So that's the episode, everyone. If y'all have different B songs that y'all like, comment below. But yeah, next week we'll cover the story of Highlight, which TJ will take over for that, since he knows them a little bit better than I do.
Yeah, I know them as Highlight versus Beast. So
yeah,
originally Anne was going to do both parts, like the original one, but I was like, you know what? I think it makes more sense for me to do Highlight, since I was introduced to them as Highlight.
All right, we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.
흥건해진 밤이 분위기를 봐 우리뿐인 party 걸리적거리는 윗도린 다리에 이 본능은 설레 나란 본능 설레 Let's get down with me 이거는 네 거 맘대로만 봐